Lily tries to imagine what someone would feel like when they browse through their favorite bookstore in New York around Christmas and find a red notebook on a familiar shelf. People keep coming and going, but no one gives the notebook another glance. On December 17th, Dash is roaming around the market and feeling disgusted by all the Christmas cheer. He judges the carolers for having so much eggnog that they don't even remember the words. He even judges the couples who mistake holiday magic for love. He also did that once with his ex, but wants to forget all about it. He gets angry at a girl who crashes into him and covers him with tinsel. He gets distracted by a message from his mom, who wants to know if he's staying with his dad. His parents are divorced, so his mother is spending Christmas in Hawaii while he stays at his dad's place. Before leaving, he's glad that at least one new caroler seems to remember the words. He heads towards his favorite bookstore and irritates Mark about a book on the wrong shelf. He finds the red notebook and wants to report it too, but Mark ignores him. After the notebook dares him to open it, he finds a handwritten note asking him to decipher a message with some clues. He loves a challenge but tries to ask Mark what French pianism means. Mark refuses to give him any clues because the girl who kept the notebook forbade him from saying anything. Dash gets more interested when he realizes that a girl is challenging him and scans the strand to find the first clue. He keeps going through the clues and finding books to finish the sentence. It leads him to the sensuality section, where his friend Priya finds him reading about gay love. He used to hang out with Priya since she was best friends with his ex, Sophia. When he and Sophia broke up, he lost touch with the whole group. Priya apologizes for assuming that he's not in town for the holidays and invites him to her party on Christmas Eve. He claims he's going to Sweden with his dad, but seems surprised that Sophia is back for the holidays and will be there. Even if Priya judges him for the book he's reading, he recommends a book for her younger sister, who once challenged him because of their mutual interests. He addresses the girl from the notebook as the clue girl, who assumes that he's clever if he has come that far. She still asks him to keep the book back if he's not a teenage boy who is available. Since he keeps going, she dares him to do a dramatic reading of a Christmas song he happens to love too. He embarrasses himself enough that Mark gives him the last clue. He learns that the girl wants to know if he's going to be lonely on Christmas. When she asks him to leave a message about how the holiday season makes him feel, he tries to find out who she is from Mark. He doesn't like Dash's attitude and asks him to put the book back so someone else can play the game. Dash just smiles and walks away with it. Dash's friend, Boomer, who works at a pizza plaza, Two Boots, is surprised after learning from Priya that he's going to Sweden. Dash explains that he only lied to her so he could stay away from all the social formalities this holiday season. He's really intrigued by the girl who has left a sort of treasure hunt for him in the notebook. Boomer hasn't seen him this excited since he broke up with Sophia and offers to help with a sting operation. Dash takes pizza and a French film about murder to enjoy them in solitude at his dad's place. His dad also thinks he's spending Christmas with his mom. Since they both don't talk to each other, it's working out for him. When he watches a romantic scene, he remembers the day he spent in bed with Sophia. He seems very much in love while discussing random things with her. She suddenly informs him that she's moving to Brazil because of her dad's job. When he's shocked, she feels like he should have known they wouldn't last forever. In the present, he starts writing back in the notebook about how he thinks Christmas is the most detestable time of the year. A while later, even Mark sort of seems happy to find the notebook back on the shelf. Dash informs Boomer that he has asked the girl to leave a reply in the video section of Two Boots. He just wants Boomer to keep a lookout for her so he can find out who she is. Due to all the lunch rush, Boomer only catches the back of her head when she puts it back. She knows that Dash tried to trick her by finding out who she is, but asks him to play strictly by the rules if he wants to know more about her. She sends him to a department store right before Christmas, even if she knows he hates Christmas. Dash seems to love this subtle sadism and thinks he already knows her well. He's sure this girl is smart and sophisticated and is eager to do the dare so he can get her name. He creates havoc at the store, for which he gets thrown out, but he manages to sneak out Santa's hat, which has Lily's name on it. While he gets to know this on December 18th, he doesn't know that one day earlier, she was the girl he bumped into and got tinsel from. Lily then rushes to the rescue of her drunk caroler friends, and Dash unknowingly appreciates that she's the only one who knows the right words from the carols. Unlike Dash, Lily loves Christmas and everything about it. It's the best time of the year for her because her grandfather met her grandmother on Christmas, and so did her parents. Her brother, Langston, also met his boyfriend then, but they have broken up now. Lily hasn't had a love story yet, even if she tried talking to guys in the bookstore. She thought she would find the perfect guy browsing through the bookshelves, but she just found someone getting a book for school. She keeps failing because no one understands her. While her great-aunt, Mrs. Basil E., thinks she's an old soul, her brother Langston thinks she's too cool for people her age. But she knows they're only saying such things to make her feel better. She still loves everything about Christmas, till she comes home and finds that her parents are going for a honeymoon they never had in Fiji. Even her grandfather Arthur is traveling to Florida to meet Mabel, who he claims is a friend. Even Langston has found a date on an app, who is coming over. Lily tries to console herself about never having a love story and assures herself that she doesn't need one. She's excited about forming her own caroling troupe, but she ends up interrupting an intimate moment between Langston and his date, Benny. Langston comes to her room later to apologize for screaming at her. He even pretends to be interested in the caroling troupe she has formed with the neighbors, Aaron, Roberta, Melvin, and the others. She thinks adults like them are easier to talk to since they read books, and is genuinely happy because Langston is falling for Benny. When Lily mentions that she uses her emotions to discuss things that she can't talk about, Langston gets the idea of finding her a soulmate through the red notebook. He picks out random books from her shelf to make up clues, and allows her to use a song she likes in this challenge. She then places the book on the shelf of her choice in the bookstore. On December 18th, Lily learns from her cousin, Mark, that a boy took her bait. Mark thinks the guy is snarly but still asks her to figure out the task he left for her. Lily happily reads about how her mystery guy likes her clues and her taste in music. She's still shocked to learn that he detests Christmas. Langston encourages her to go after what she wants, or keep the notebook back for someone else to play. Lily still thinks she should give him a chance but keeps the notebook away for a while. She tries to distract herself with carols, during which she notices that all the girls in her soccer team have dates for Christmas too. Lily wants to keep singing in different locations of the map she has prepared, but everyone else has things to do and, as they point out, a life. She then reads Dash's answer again. She finally understands that he detests Christmas, because he's also lonely on the holidays. She keeps the notebook back next to the most depressing movie at Two Boots, but Boomer follows her and catches her. Lily begs Boomer not to tell her mystery boy that he saw her, because she wants to get to know him through the notebook before she meets him for real. She tries to find out more about Boomer's friend and wonders if he's snarly like Mark said. Boomer admits that he's complicated and has many walls, but also thinks that he's the most loyal friend once he gets comfortable with someone. Boomer agrees to lie about meeting her because she's different from Sophia. He wants his friend to know someone nice like her. He still insists that Lily needs to reply with something if they have to convince his friend that they didn't run into each other. Since he broke her rules by trying to make his friend find out who she is, she decides to torture him by daring him to ask Santa for her name, since he hates Christmas. Dash seems excited that the girl wants to torture him and tries to get past Santa's elf in the store. When he's facing trouble because he's clearly a teenager who apparently causes trouble, Boomer recognizes the Christmas elf as an actor who played a murdered corpse in a show he likes. This distracts him enough so Dash can cut the line in front of children to show Santa the notebook. Santa admits that the name he wants is in his hat, but asks Dash to sit on his lap first. Dash is desperate enough to do that till Santa starts crushing his bones and warns him about never hurting the girl who is very special to him. When the elf asks Dash to leave and calls for backup, Dash quickly steals Santa's hat and manages to get it past security to get Lily's name. Boomer thinks it's a Christmas miracle to see Dash smiling like that during the holiday season. He's also proud that he got an autographed headshot of the elf who was on Law & Order. Lily is desperately waiting for her Uncle Sal, who was the Santa at the department store earlier. He gives her the notebook back but claims that he doesn't like that boy for her. Lily is just glad that Dash has agreed to follow her rules and is not trying to find out who she is fraudulently. He also agrees that they can get to know personal questions with a dare and asks what she wants for Christmas. That night, as it rains, they both sing the same Christmas song while thinking about each other. Meanwhile, Langston takes all the credit for the cookies Lily left for him and Benny. Lily wants to get to know Dash better, so she asks him to take her to a place through the notebook that is close to him. He directs her towards the Grand Central Terminal before the first train arrives, so she can feel at peace before all the people ruin things. She describes how free she feels under the constellations when it's still dark outside. She understands that he likes stillness, so she dares him to stand like a statue next to his cousin for 10 minutes as a dare while people try to trouble him. After that, when she collects the notebook, he only reveals that his name is a connector of words. He also dares her to try his favorite salty snack, but she makes him try the sweetest treats she loves. She assumes his name might be Andy, if the connector of words is and. He clarifies that he's not, and thinks that a gullible guy like any Andy wouldn't have been able to find her in the Salinger section of the Strand. When she dares him to share his worst Christmas story, He remembers the one where his parents told him they're getting divorced. He even recalls the moment he realized that having 2 Christmases and 2 sets of presents isn't a good thing. That's the last time he ever believed in the magic of Christmas, because Santa never got his parents back. Lily rants about this year being the worst Christmas since her entire family is away. In the middle of writing, she realizes that Dash deserves the truth since he bared his soul to her. Lily then writes about the Christmas in school, where she made friendship bracelets for everyone before the winter dance. She always makes her clothes from spare fabrics, which is why she put a lot of thought into those bracelets. She hands out the bracelets to everyone, including her longtime crush. She feels over the moon when he accepts the bracelet. A little while later, she feels shattered when she notices that everyone has thrown her bracelets away. She also overhears her crush laughing about how weird she is with his friends. That's when she knows she will never fit in. She hides all the bracelets, but she's still wearing one from that day in the present. She claims she's fine with not having friends or getting invited to parties, because she doesn't need that anyway. Dash admits to Boomer that he almost wrote back angrily about going back in time and torturing her crush for treating her badly. Boomer loves how possessive Dash already is about a girl he knows through a piece of paper. When Dash's friends show him a flyer for a Hanukkah party that night, he dares Lily to go to the club for a party to prove to herself that being weird can be cool too. Langston is impressed that her mystery guy wants her to go to a Jewish punk show at 2 in the night. Lily has never partied before or gone clubbing, which is why Langston encourages her to do it. Lily admits she's scared to show up because she's starting to really like this guy. She keeps thinking that she will do something to mess it up, and the guy will realize that she's not as cool as she sounds. Benny is also excited about her trying clubbing, and makes her take out a dress she would never wear for it. Lily dreams about meeting a masked notebook guy at the party, who thinks she's too weird and rejects her. She then wakes up right before the party and starts getting ready hesitantly. A drag queen can only allow her to enter the underground club if she shares something painful about herself. When she admits that she has never been kissed even if she's 17, she's allowed in. The people at the club are drunk and rude to her, so she locks herself in the bathroom and starts crying. She then finds a note Dash left earlier for her on the mirror, urging her to go back out there to have the night of her life. Lily follows his instructions and tries to groove to the music. The drag queen then drags her to the front so she can show everyone her moves. She dances weirdly, but everyone there encourages her. The musicians, who are Dash's friends, also recognize her as the notebook girl because she's carrying it. After she gets crowned as the new queen, she runs into her crush from middle school, Edgar Thibault. He still finds her weird for bringing a notebook to a club and laughs at her. She runs away and gets into a cab after leaving a boot behind in a hurry. She feels bad about failing the notebook guy and doesn't know how he'll find her now that she forgot to leave the notebook at the club. When she returns at 4 in the night, her grandpa is back from his trip and grounds her forever. Dash turns up at the club early morning and asks his friends who are still asleep for the red notebook. They remember seeing the girl there last night and how happening she made the place with her dance. They're still unsure of where the notebook is, and Dash can't find it anywhere around. He still gets her message on the mirror and feels bad that she was scared to go out to the party. He also finds the red boot she left behind and tries to figure out what the TDF on it means. He's desperate to find her through the shoe and confirms with Boomer whether she left the notebook at 2 boots. Boomer keeps insisting he hasn't met her, but tries to give him suggestions about the full form of TDF. He even suggests downloading a mommy app, which consists of these female detectives who can find out anyone through one photo. Dash doesn't care for that suggestion, but decides to break the internet rule this one time to search for TDF. He finds out that the boot must be from Theater Development Fund, which is among the oldest costume rental shops in Queens, New York. He learns that someone called Lillian rented it and paid cash for it since she couldn't return it. Dash begs the store attendant to give him the address of this woman and convinces her by claiming that he's trying to find his Cinderella. She's touched by how much he seems to love this girl. She gives him the boot back along with the address because she doesn't want to stand in the way of true love. Langston is sick in bed after sleeping on the roof with Benny all these nights. He also feels heartbroken because their grandpa, Arthur, has banned Benny from the house after finding him in his bed. Lily begs him to somehow hand over the red notebook to Boomer at 2 boots, since she's not allowed to step out of the house. Langston refuses to entertain that thought when he finds out that she's giving up on the game with this mystery guy just because she had a bad time at the club. She's worried she won't be as cool as the mystery guy thinks she is, but Langston doesn't want her to give up yet. Even when all of Arthur's friends turn up for a card game, he refuses to let Lily get out of the house to bring soup for her sick brother. He even asks his friends to keep an eye on her so she doesn't slip out. Dash and Boomer stand outside the address they got from the store. Dash first asks Boomer to return the boot, but realizes that he wants to do it himself. An old lady answers the door and thanks him for finding her boot. She also invites him in when he mentions Lily and a red notebook. She offers him coffee and clarifies that she's not the Lily he's looking for. She explains that Lily is her great-niece, so he instantly recognizes her from her pseudonym, Mrs. Basil E. He begs her to make him meet Lily, but she wants to know if he loves her first. He claims he doesn't know her well enough to do that, but seems desperate to check up on her. He admits that he cares about her and is worried about what happened when he sent her to the club. He's also scared that he made her do something she wasn't comfortable with. Lillian likes his answer, but is worried about visiting her brother Arthur's place, from which she has been banned. Lillian still turns up at Arthur's place to check up on Lily and inform her that a worried boy tracked her down with her boot. She wants him to return the boot to her, like a prince does to his Cinderella. When Arthur notices Lillian in the house, he asks his friends to leave. He doesn't think Lillian deserves to be in the house after she abandoned the family. She points out that going on a tour with the Rolling Stones doesn't count as abandoning the family, even if she thinks every act of rebellion is wrong. When Arthur dismissed Lily to her room so he could speak to Lillian in private, Langston seemed to think Lily would never be allowed out of the house after this. She can't accept that and tries to protest, but she finds her grandpa crying. Lillian decides to leave and asks Lily to have a talk with him. Arthur admits that he came back early from his trip because Mabel rejected his marriage proposal. Lily thinks it makes sense that she doesn't want to move to New York from Florida after marriage. He knows how much Arthur also keeps raving about the great pool she has and the great weather in Florida. Lily suggests that he should discuss the marriage with Mabel again, so they can figure out a living arrangement. Arthur also admits that he was too harsh on Lily and Langston in anger, and ungrounds her from the following day. He wants to treat her to ice cream that night to apologize, but she decides she wants pizza instead. She turns up at Two Boots and hands over the notebook to Boomer. When she mentions that it's time-sensitive, he leaves his shift to deliver the notebook to Dash in his house. They both rush out so he can take the Q train in time. Lily apologizes to Dash for messing up their game because she forgot to leave the notebook. She admits that she was overwhelmed by the crowd at the club. She still thinks that his message on the mirror gave her strength, which is why she also wants him to have the kind of eye-opening experience he gave her. She directs him towards Diker Heights and asks him to first stop at the Nutcracker house. At first, he can only see plastic nutcrackers and nothing real. He then notices an old couple in love who probably come there to get photos with the house every year and follow it like a tradition. Lily discusses how she has never fit in anywhere, and life made her realize that magic isn't real. But she has also realized that people can make magic happen where and when they want to. She asks him to stand outside a house at a specific time, where the word believe suddenly flashes. Through this gesture, she wants him to know that she believes in him, because this notebook also brought magic into her life through him. Dash feels happy till he gets a message from Sophia, asking him to meet her since she's back in town. While making mochi with Japanese grannies who don't understand his language, Dash keeps ranting about Sophia confusing him with her texts, when he thought he was finally moving on because of Lily. He's struggling with his mochi, because of which he's glad he has given an equally worthy dare to Lily. She arrives at the break room, where she's asked to create anything that's on her mind. Dash keeps reading Lily's advice about how creating mochi is an art, but gets distracted by Sophia's texts. Sophia knows he's not in Sweden and desperately wants to meet him. When Dash's mochi gets thrown into the trash, he takes Lily's advice about listening to his mochi and shuts his eyes to clear his head. The next time he makes mochi, all the grannies applaud him. Lily ends up making a Muppet but isn't expecting there to be more to the dare, and that she's supposed to destroy it in the break room. Dash wants her to let go and let out her anger with this activity. But Lily decides not to destroy the Muppet that she thinks looks like Dash. She takes it to feed dogs in the park, where Edgar finds her. Just when she thinks he's stalking her, he admits that he dropped by after learning from her Instagram that she feeds dogs there every day. He finds it weird that she makes the dog treats herself and is hanging out with a Muppet. She gets angrier that he sought her out to call her weird again. He clarifies that he respects her weirdness and how she's been able to let go since she was a kid. Unlike the others, he doesn't seem to remember their last interaction, but invites her to a slam poetry night nearby. He claims it's because he's trying to be a free spirit like her. He even shows her that he's wearing the bracelet she made in middle school and asks her to understand that people notice that she's the real deal. Dash reads about how Lily couldn't destroy her creation and feels proud that she follows her heart. His alone time is suddenly interrupted by his dad returning to the house with his girlfriend Lisa. His dad, Gordon, believes Dash when he claims he only came to the house for a bit to take a break from his mom's place. Gordon and Lisa are just stopping by the house before heading to Half Moon Bay to sail. It's all because Lisa wanted to do breakfast at Tiffany's in New York. Dash writes to Lily about how mad he is at the prospect of yet another Christmas dinner with his dad and his girlfriend of the week. He has had many of these, and only Sophia has helped him get through them because she's the kind of person who can make people comfortable. He tears up the page when he realizes he shouldn't discuss that with Lily. He tears up another page where he mentions to Lily that he likes her. Lily overhears a breakup fight between Langston and Benny, who is moving to Puerto Rico. Langston doesn't even want to try long distance, because he knows it won't work. Lily tries to comfort him, but he ends up being mean about how she doesn't even have a real relationship. He also lets it slip that their parents are moving to Fiji and taking her with them. He gets to stay because he's an adult, and she's hurt that everyone knew about it except her. Dash tries to make small talk with Lisa at dinner till Sophia joins them. She smoothens out the conversation and assures Dash they can run out the fire exit anytime he wants. She thanks Dash for calling her back because he's apparently too busy for everyone these days. When she mentions that she just got back from Bolzano, Gordon wonders why his son never wants to travel with him. Dash's mind is filled with direct answers, like how Gordon has never invited him with his girlfriends, but he remembers Lily and chooses to find his mochi instead. He tries to calm his mind like Lily taught him by closing his eyes and mentions the time Gordon took him to a bookstore when he was a kid. He claims it helped him fall in love with books, which makes Gordon also warm up to him. Lily tries to find out if someone left a notebook for her at Two Boots, because she wants to rant and express her feelings. When she can't get hold of Boomer, she starts walking and angrily destroys all the snowmen on the way to compensate for not destroying anything in the break room earlier. She then rushes to the slam poetry night and takes the stage to ask for Edgar. When she can't find him, she starts discussing how good she feels after beating things up. She admits it feels great to call out what's wrong with the world and how much she hates her parents right now. When she spots Edgar in the crowd, she admits that she has always felt like an outsider because of him. She discusses how he gave her childhood trauma, because of which she has always steered clear of social events and hasn't done a lot of things in her life she wanted to because she was afraid of not fitting in. She feels surprised when Edgar apologizes for making her feel that she was too different. He asks her to understand that he was also a child then and didn't know that he was hurting her. He wants to go back in time and stop himself, but decides to make it up in the present by asking her out to a Christmas Eve party the following night. In front of everyone, she just agrees. Sophia is proud of how Dash dealt with his dad this time and is glad that he asked for her help. She wanted to meet him to share that she's moving back to New York and wants to be friends again. He agrees to join some old friends at a bar that night, where Edgar also comes to meet Dash. He discusses how he had a breakthrough that night and is even bringing a date to Priya's party. When Sophia asks if Dash will go with her to Priya's party as friends, Dash remembers what Lily told him about going with the flow and agrees. Dash mentions to Lily in the notebook that he's reconnecting with an old friend who is in town for the holidays. Sophia keeps wanting to help Dash dress better in case he wants to meet a woman that night at the party. Dash mentions Lily to her and how they've been interacting through the notebook. She finds it amusing that Lily is daring him to have pie with cheese, and he explains that it's all a part of their games. Sophia is glad he finally has a perfect woman in his head. She still asks him to be cautious, because women don't like to be put on a pedestal. She thinks that if he meets Lily in real life, she might not live up to his expectations. He assures her that they'll meet soon, right after they're done getting to know each other. Dash thanks Lily for making him try the pie and have something positive to look forward to this Christmas break. He promises to share his name with her through the notebook on Christmas morning, after handing it over to Lillian at night, to make sure that it's under her tree in the morning. Lily's friends have heard about her shifting to Fiji and ask her to handle any unfinished business with Notebook Boy before she goes. Lily also thanks Dash for being the only constant in her weird life. She can't even face the Muppet when she's fixing her sweater for the Christmas Eve party. She makes the Muppet face the other way and claims she's not wrong for going on a date with Edgar because the Notebook Boy hasn't asked her out yet. Langston apologizes to Lily for lashing out at her when he was angry about his breakup. He tries to make up for it by playing a game with her. He's surprised that she has a date with another guy and doesn't get why she wants to cancel it. Lily is confused because she likes Notebook Boy and doesn't want this random date with Edgar to ruin things between them. Langston also admits he likes the Notebook Boy because he makes her get out of her shell. He still doesn't think he should cancel the party. When Lily mentions that he's reconnecting with an old friend, Langston seems sure that's code for hanging out with his ex. Lily secretly meets Boomer to ask if Dash is probably spending time with his ex. Boomer thinks Sophia is still in Brazil and assures her that she has nothing to worry about. He promises that he'll hand over the notebook to Dash at the party where he's meeting him that night. At the party, Boomer is surprised to see Sophia back in town, and that Dash has been styled by her. She's also completing his sentences for him, so he begs Dash not to fall into his old habits with her again. He insists that Sophia is bad for Dash and asks him not to do anything to ruin things with Lily. Meanwhile, Edgar is impressed and thinks only Lily could pull off an ugly sweater like that. After handing Dash the notebook, Boomer leaves the party for a movie and misses Lily and Edgar by a second. Edgar asks Lily to get comfortable, while he keeps their coats in a room where Dash is reading the notebook. Lily mentions a movie poster of Collation that she saw earlier, which is releasing on Christmas Day. She suggests they should meet in person and probably watch that movie together. Dash also wishes Lily were with him at the party, where there's a serious discussion about the best Christmas movies. Lily doesn't know who he is, but likes his answer and analysis of the movie. She smiles at him in approval, and he smiles back. When he compliments her sweater, she assumes he's making fun of her. He gently assures her that he appreciates how unconventionally attractive her outfit is. He's not very proud of his stylish pants, and they bond over making fun of people at the party. While he makes fun of Edgar for being too out there, Lily can't get over how good-looking Sophia is, who surely never has to worry about being lonely. They also bond over their comfort in staying away from the crowd, and he's impressed with her knowledge of some references he's making. They joke about running away from the party, and Dash finally introduces himself. Before he can hear Lily's name, Sophia comes over to ask him for a dance. Edgar also jokes about Dash flirting with his girl, and they all join the others to play Truth or Dare. Sophia dares Dash to leave the party with her and travel back in time, so he does. When it's Lily's turn to answer the truth, everyone is surprised that she hasn't kissed anyone. Sophia blindfolds Dash and takes him to the Morgan Library and Museum, where he took her for their first date. It's supposed to be closed, but Sophia has arranged for a special tour since Priya's dad knows someone. Everything in there reminds Dash of a book by Mrs. Basil E. When Edgar suggests playing strip poker, Lily tries to sneak out. He insists on calling a cab for her and is surprised she has never been kissed because he finds her beautiful. He's about to kiss her when he gets a notification about the cab and apologizes because the surge fares are crazy during the holidays. Since his dad is holding him on a budget, he asks Lily to find a cab on her own. Lily gets home earlier than her curfew, but tries to take solace in the fact that she'll learn Notebook Guy's name in the morning. Sophia wishes that she and Dash could go back in time to when they were dating. Dash thinks they broke up for more reasons than her shift to Brazil. He thinks it's also because he put up walls, but she has noticed that he's different now. He points out that it's not the case if she's still styling him and finishing his sentences at the party. She respects that he wants things to be different and admits that she still wants to be with him. When she kisses him, he forgets everything else and the notebook to kiss her back. Lily always wakes up excited on Christmas Day because of her family, but this year she's excited about knowing Dash's name. She keeps searching, but there's no notebook under her tree. She wears her one red boot with sneakers and heads out to Lillian's house to apparently make cookies. Lillian hasn't heard from Dash since the day he came with the boot, and has no clue about where her notebook could be. Lily gets called by her caroling group to a bar, so Lillian asks her to dash away as a pun to tease her. When she realizes that Lily doesn't know Dash's name yet, she insists she doesn't mean anything by the pun. Lily realizes that the notebook's guy's name must be Dash, who is the same guy she met at the party. She also remembers how he said his name is a connector of words. When she video calls Boomer, he unintentionally confirms that his friend is Dash. He's not expecting that she's upset because Dash left the party last night with Sophia. He's too embarrassed because he asked Dash not to do that and cuts the call. Lily takes a sip from all of her friends' drinks and rants about Notebook Guy already having a girlfriend. She's more upset because Dash is exactly like she imagined. She thinks he's smart, cute, and funny, but is upset that he left the party with the most perfect girl she has ever seen. As she gets more drunk and feels heartbroken, she texts Edgar to come meet her at the bar to kiss her. Edgar turns up at the bar and admits that he didn't kiss her last night because there was pressure of it being her first kiss. She allows him to kiss her this time, but Dash turns up at the bar right then with the notebook in her boot and calls out to her. One night earlier, Dash stopped kissing Sophia because he couldn't stop thinking about Lily. He then clarifies to Sophia that he doesn't want to be with her. Sophia also admits that she's clinging on to him because he's the only familiar person in her life when she keeps changing cities and countries because of her dad. They decide to officially end anything romantic between them, but she convinces him to spend the night in the museum with her as friends. Dash wakes up late with her and realizes that he forgot to give Lily the notebook. Sophia asks him to stop hiding behind the notebook and meet Lily for real, if he really likes her. Just when Dash is confused about how to find Lily, he gets a notification from a detective app Boomer had installed on his phone earlier. Someone has spotted Lily with that boot in the bar, so he runs towards it. He makes a stop at the theater to buy 2 tickets for collation for that night, which Lily had earlier suggested. He is so happy in love that he's even nice to a rude man and hugs the Santa standing outside. He then runs to the club and finds Lily kissing Edgar. He realizes that she's the girl from the party and tries to process that she's apparently dating Edgar. Lily points out that he also kissed Sophia, but can't continue the conversation since she's too drunk. When she points out that she can't go home in this state, Dash insists he'll drop her and apparently knows where he can take her. Edgar then tries to flirt with Lily's friend, but it doesn't work. Dash tries to figure out why Lily likes Edgar, so she clarifies that he's easy and fun. Dash gets offended that she thinks he's depressing, but Lily also attacks him about spending the night with Sophia. She made that deduction because he's wearing the same clothes from last night. He clarifies that he broke up with Sophia a year ago, but she's hurt that he didn't mention he's hanging out with her clearly in the notebook. He judges her for randomly kissing Edgar since she's not dating him anyway. She then clarifies that she wanted her first kiss to be with him, but he was missing. She also mentions that she met Boomer, who described Dash to be much nicer than she thought he was right then. Dash then writes something in the notebook and hands it, along with the boot, to Lillian. He also clarifies that he doesn't want to play this game anymore. Arthur comes over because Lily extended her curfew and is very disappointed to find her drunk. Her entire family surprises her when she gets back, but she barfs in her boot. Dash drops by with a present for Boomer, but accuses him of being a bad friend because he didn't mention that he met Lily and knew who she was all along. Lily learns that her parents came early to celebrate Christmas with her because Langston insisted. She also finally discusses how unfair it is that they're thinking of moving to Fiji. Her dad clarifies that she only has a week because they have to board the flight on New Year's. They ask her to accept that the move is happening because they can't always live with her grandpa. They were fine with the arrangement till then, because her dad's contract job wasn't paying well. Lily reads Dash's note about how he knew they were setting each other up for disappointment. He regrets not realizing earlier that they couldn't have met each other's expectations in reality. He assures her that their game is over and asks her to move on. Dash keeps waiting at the bookstore, so Mark hands him over the notebook on New Year's Eve. Lily has written a final goodbye for him since she's leaving for Fiji that night. She admits that it was stupid to assume they would work out and assures him that she's moving on. She's glad that she could at least believe in the magic for one last Christmas. In front of Langston, Lily claims she's glad about getting a fresh start and rants about her first kiss with Edgar. Langston assures her that the first kiss doesn't matter because he doesn't even remember his. For him, the second kiss was more significant, and he thinks Lily will also find that. When he mentions that Benny is only going away for 2 weeks to Puerto Rico, Lily gets mad at him for assuming 2 weeks is long distance and breaking up with Benny for it. Dash keeps trying to get in touch with Boomer and finds out that he's at a Jonas Brothers concert. He begs Boomer to help him with Lily, but he's mad at Dash for not respecting him. Dash still makes Boomer realize that he truly means it, because he came to a Jonas Brothers concert, which he never cares for, just for Boomer. All his friends are there, and they take him to a trailer so he can discuss his problem. Dash is worried because Lily has stopped believing. He thinks if he doesn't help her feel better one last time before she leaves, he'll always regret it. Sophia suggests that if he really wants Lily to know his feelings, he needs to be real with her, instead of trying to be a fairy tale Prince Charming and thinking about rescuing her from some sort of a Christmas heartbreak. When even Nick Jonas, whose trailer they're in, agrees with his friends, Dash understands what he has to do. Arthur makes the family perform a ceremony on their last night in New York. He asks Langston to reflect on his last year and how he dropped out of college because of a guy. Since he saw Benny with him recently, he hopes Langston has moved on and asks him to get back to college in the next year. Dash puts all his friends to work so they can get Christmas decorations and food for something he's planning. Arthur is upset with Lily's choices this year and has heard from all family members and friends that she was running around town for some boy. He offers to let her stay back in New York with him if she admits that the boy forced her to rebel. Lily refuses to blame Dash for the choices she made, so Arthur insists that she'll have to leave the city and can't stay with him. Lily still makes sure to point out that she's almost an adult and is supposed to be doing reckless things. She taunts Arthur for never compromising with Lillian and Mabel, because of which he's sure to end up alone. She also asks Langston to grow up and not break up with someone just because they'll be missing for 2 weeks. She even asks her parents to be honest with her about things, because she knows she can handle the truth. Langston notices the red notebook outside their door just before Lily leaves, but he hides it. While Dash keeps waiting at the bookstore, Langston can't control himself and reads it. While Dash begs Mark to not close up the store yet and give him more time, Langston sends a photo of the page Dash wrote into Lily. Dash praises Lily for being brave and smart, and assures her that what they shared is real. He also admits that she's the girl he's falling in love with, so she just runs out of the cab without saying anything to her parents. The elf helps her get into the bookstore, which Dash has decorated with all the ornaments that tell their story. There's also a table full of all her favorite New York treats that he wanted her to enjoy on her last day. Lily feels overwhelmed because it's much easier to say things in a book than to his face. She still kisses Dash and admits it's because she couldn't put her feelings into words. Arthur calls Lily right when Langston finds out that Lillian has discussed an arrangement with him. Arthur offers to let Lily stay in New York with him if she wants, and has even decided to try things out with Mabel because of her outburst earlier. Langston also feels inspired and brings a notebook for Benny that they can post to each other when he's in Puerto Rico. While Sophia and Boomer bond over collation, Edgar still can't find anyone to kiss on New Year's Eve. Dash and Lily, who are stuck in the store, kiss each other at midnight.